Hello and welcome to the workshop. Thank you for stopping by. I hope everyone is staying safe out there with all the craziness going on right now. Thankfully, we have something like this that we can kind of use to take our mind off stuff. A lot of people are watching YouTube while quarantining, social distancing, etc., and us included down here at the workshop. If you're new, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We do a brand new video almost every single day. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Fomer Simpson. And with that said, Buckets, anything to add?
No.
It's sneaker time. 3, 2, 1, bang, bang. The Versace chain reaction. Shouts to our friends over at Kicks Are For Us, a local sneaker spot down here in Tampa, Florida. They carry all kinds of different brands and sneakers from Nikes to designer. Now, these released, this specific pair or colorway, I should say, recently released, and retail is 1,350 buckaroos. And that's retail, mind you. That's not a resale price. That is just retail. If you're buying Versace sneakers, that's kind of what you expect. It's weird because when you buy designer, you expect to pay wild prices. When you buy a pair of Jordans, you don't want to pay $1 over retail. In some cases, you want to wait until they go on sale. I think I paid $700 for my Travis Scott Jordan 1s not too long ago, and I was like, man, what am I doing? It was hard to do. But somehow if I see a pair of Gucci sneakers at $700, I'm like, well, that's not too bad. And I'm not even a huge designer guy per se. Just kind of illustrating a point, I guess. We're almost conditioned through marketing and perceived value of a product to never question these designer prices. It's just normal, kind of. And why are they so expensive? Is it the insanely luxurious and exotically immaculate quality? In most cases, no, definitely not. I'm not saying this is a bad quality sneaker because it isn't, but they aren't better quality than a lot of Jordans I own. The Cause 4, the Union 1, the Travis Scott 1 that I mentioned. Even take a New Balance sneaker. New Balance makes incredible quality sneakers, by the way, with incredible craftsmanship. All of those sneakers retail at a fraction of the $1,350 price tag on these, and I would argue that all of them have better quality, if not just as good. So you're paying for the name, which is fine. I think we've all been there to some degree at one point or another, just in consumerism, whether it's, the Apple and the iPhone or just whatever it is. I've been there myself, where that brand name, that perceived value, it draws you in, it holds you hostage. And I mentioned I'm not a huge designer guy, but I actually do kind of like this chain reaction sneaker. I mentioned that once before in a previous video, just the gaudiness of it, the chunky shape. And I actually like this colorway a lot too. The leopard pony hair. Orange leather on the heel. Pink suede around the toe. With love in braille on the side here. If you know me, you know that I love pink, especially when it's a small hit, just to spice things up a little bit. I don't necessarily like an all pink sneaker, but little hits here and there, I really dig that. A few more details on this particular pair. Versace pattern on the front. Round laces, as you can see. 3M strip down the middle. And the tongue is a padded mesh. I think that's kind of a cool touch. I just love the different materials and textures. Medusa head on the back. And obviously you have the super duper chunky midsole, chain reaction outsole. It's a crazy looking sneaker, and I know some people, a lot of people, will hate them. I understand that. Some people will love them. Maybe comparing them to Jordans isn't entirely fair, but hey, Jordan is teaming up with Dior soon. The Dior Jordan 1, a lot of you I'm sure have seen pictures floating around the internet, and those are going to retail at $2,000. And who knows what resale prices will be. There's only 8,500 pairs that are going to release, so I'm sure the prices on that sneaker are going to be nuts. Designer sneakers are just a flex. I think the biggest thing is it's just a stunt, really. I'm not saying everyone who buys a designer sneaker is trying to show off necessarily, but I think the status of it is what these brands, designer brands, I should say, they rely on. Because again, it's that perceived value. You see these, you see someone wearing them and you know they paid $1,000+ for that pair of sneakers. So are they worth it? Not to me. In most cases, in this case, not to me. I've bought very few designer sneakers in my life. I've spent $1,000 on a pair of sneakers very few times in my life. I just generally think that the designer stuff is mostly ugly, doesn't really fit my aesthetic. Now, there are some designer sneakers that I love, but again, that price point for me, it's hard for me to really get behind that. Buckets, would you spend $1,350? That's not even counting tax and shipping. Would you spend that on this sneaker?
Insert Bishop Bullwinkle.
Hell to the nah, nah. How much would you pay for this sneaker?
I mean, I would pay a little bit less than it's worth, and then I would sell them for what they're worth.
You would pay a little bit less. Listen, you're trying to find loopholes here. If you were going to wear them, how much would you spend on this sneaker?
I mean, I wouldn't wear this sneaker.
You're not answering the question. How much would you spend?
$100.
$100, and then you would just keep it in your closet. So it would be like weird flex, but okay.
No, I would sell it.
Okay. So you'd never keep them?
Never.
Never wear them?
Never.
See, I would wear them. I thought this might fit your funky style. It has the chunky dad shoe shape that you like, but okay, Buckets is not getting behind them. Scale of 1 to 10. How about this?
I mean, it depends, like on what scale.
Buckets is avoiding questions. He's dodging questions like Neo in the Matrix. Scale of 1 to 10. What are they?
A 0.
Wow. Buckets gives them a 0. I think they're like a 6.5, even 7. But with that price point, it's just a no for me. Let us know how you feel. How do you feel about this sneaker and this colorway specifically? How do you feel about designer sneakers in general? How much would you pay for the sneaker? How much have you paid for previous designer sneakers that you have in your repertoire or have in your closet? And why do you think a sneaker like this is so expensive? 5 or 10 times as much as a pair of Nikes. Do you think it's the quality and the craftsmanship and the materials? Or do you think it's that perceived value and kind of that status? Let us know what you think. Leave a comment below. Always love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. You are very, very appreciated. We will be back tomorrow. Mañana. Same time, same place, right here at the workshop with a brand new video. Hope everyone is staying safe out there. Adios.